The emotional bond that remains. After a breakup, we idealize people and how responsible they are for their decisions. It seems a person can decide to leave and, as if by magic, forget everything that was once so dear. There is the conscious and the unconscious, and it is decidedly not the former that governs us and our actions. If we could govern ourselves, we would have long since rid ourselves of our nasty traits, and humanity as a species would have evolved. That hasn't happened and isn't on the horizon. What remains when everything is destroyed? My entire channel revolves around breakups. Every day I receive 100, 200 messages with people's stories, and each has certain fears. The strongest of them is, she will forget me. Well, that doesn't depend on her at all. A person is a set of connections and energy channels. Have you ever had it where you hear from friends how great someone is, look at them and see nothing special? But once you get acquainted, you're convinced yourself. It's all about the channel that forms between two subjects. That includes friendship, work relationships, and love, of course. There are strong channels and weak ones. So, what's the difference between a friendship channel and a love channel? Only the bandwidth of the flow. Take a relationship that's just beginning. Ideally, it sprouts from friendship or time spent together. Why does it sprout? Because you receive energy from the person. You like it, you want more. We are egoists, and any relationship initially emerges from our egoism. It's precisely egoism that is the locomotive of relationships at the start. There isn't a single story where, at the beginning, there wasn't egoism and the desire to receive someone else's energy in a larger volume than is available right now. The channel simply won't expand without prerequisites. With objectively equal significance for both people, desires can align, and the channel, under the influence of the energy flow, begins to expand. The result, do we want this energy? We're getting it, and it's very cool. That's infatuation. Why do relationships built on strong passion usually end poorly? Because people are so intoxicated by their momentary happiness that when channel growth is no longer possible, they begin to force it. That's the GMO of relationships, and both are to blame. If you think of love only in a positive key, you can't control your egoism because you don't even realize it's there. Knowing about this process, you can manage it and achieve balance, even if all your previous stories ended not so well. Even the happiest relationships begin with the desire to possess a certain flow of energy with a specific person, the channel and the flows. A breakup as a process means nothing. It's like the New Year's promise to pull yourself together and finally go to the gym or quit drinking, smoking, and swearing. What governs a person is precisely his field. When a girlfriend leaves, most often she doesn't feel the departure because all your thoughts are directed at her. It's just like when the media talk about a crisis while everything is fine for you. Was there a crisis for you? Of course not. Information is transmitted through channels via energy. Yes, those very jewels we get from food, sleep, and so on. Have you had times when everything seems fine with those, yet you have no energy? Most people have. And remember what you were thinking about? That's where your energy is going. A prime example, the public speaker. When a person while speaking has a connection with the audience, it charges him, and in real time, he begins to gain confidence and charisma. That's why for some people, performing is a drug. The one who left doesn't feel the breakup, because in terms of energy, nothing has changed. You're still nearby. Moreover, men, for example, are more attractive in relationships precisely because female energy is directed at them. Girlfriends feel it, everyone feels it, and there's heightened attention around him. Pride grows. The man decides he deserves more and decides to break up. What happens next? All the girlfriends who surrounded him disappear. What happens if a girlfriend leaves you and you stop feeding the channel? She starts to feel the loss, and your value rises very quickly. See why it's necessary to understand how channels work? Have you had cases where the girlfriend who left decides to restore the relationship with you? Try to analyze your behavior, and you'll see exactly how you shut the channel. What does the girlfriend think? When a girlfriend feels that things aren't as she expected, she feels a lack of energy. And then she can compare before, after. Before that moment, it's simply impossible because there are no thoughts that the act was wrong. After a breakup, the channel can only be cut forcibly. There are no life hacks to do it painlessly. The girlfriend had already been narrowing it for some time because she also can't do it abruptly, and you turned out unprepared. Since you were only trying to give more energy, and you need to act now, and fast. Your energy is yours. You don't need to give it to someone who has had such a destructive impact on you. Energy is divisible. If everything in your life is rapidly developing, you possess very good energy that benefits you alone. It's more valuable than money, more valuable than time, and you definitely must not lose it after a breakup because it's the building material that will restore you. And if the channel is still being fed, then the width of the flow determines how much energy leaks from you, and it feeds the life of the other person who decided to reject you. Decided to reject you, then show that the energy leaves with you as well. Otherwise, you risk sitting in apathy for months, not knowing what to do.